Welcome to MTG Budget Magic Arena Edition. Today I'm just going to go over a few simple things to help you min-max your results on MTG Arena. As always, our channel is not about using your time efficiently, it's about grinding out every ounce of value, even if it takes 17 hours to make $3. I mean, that's what we're all about here, is just not spending any money. So that's the angle we'll be operating from. Number two, this episode could actually have some segments that would make good hot take edition type information, because it's going to be pretty painfully obvious some of the stuff I'm pointing out. But because MTG Arena is so brand new, there's just going to be a lot of things that may seem obvious that other people don't know about. So it's worth pointing out because, yeah, nobody knows until they first learn something, right? Alright, so let's just jump in and look at a few of these things. Number one, if you're going to play Arena at all, you need to start now, especially if you want to basically save and or not spend a lot of money. Because every day you get quests, and the quests help you get free stuff. And so the difference between someone who's playing on a free account who starts early on versus someone who starts 3 or 4 months later, that's a huge difference, because you're missing out on months and months and months of daily quests and weekly bonuses and all kinds of nonsense like that. For those of you who didn't know, basically MTG Arena went to open beta starting on September the 27th, so it's live. You can go download it and start playing for free right now. Also, I should point out that you don't have to pay a dime to download, to log in, to register anything. I have not registered a credit card for anything. I did spend $5. I used my PayPal account, so I'll talk about that here in a minute. I don't plan to ever spend any more money. Well, probably not. Unless I get some sweet deal on something, it's probably not going to happen again. I did want to spend a smidge of money because they were offering a decent package. I guess I'll go ahead and talk about that first. If you want to spend a little bit of money, basically when you first log in, it's not here for me because I've already used it, but there's a one-time redemption code you'll see right in here in sort of the upper left-hand area. For $5, you get some gems and some packs, and it's a pretty good deal. It's basically half off on the gems. It gets you enough to get you in to do a good draft, and if you do okay, you'll be able to do additional drafts, or maybe one more draft or something at least. So it's like $5. I'm not going to spend anything else, but it looked like a decent value. You can pay with a credit card or PayPal. By the way, I don't get paid anything by Wizards. I just have my little cutesy obscure channel. I'm just throwing these tips at you because I want to help you out. Okay, next up, again, you're going to get daily and free quests and things. I've already done all my stuff for today for the most part. But basically you just play, you'll figure stuff out. I would actually suggest not modifying the baseline deck that you're going to get when you're going through your very first playthroughs, just because everything's so new, and the pre-constructed decks are going to be about as good as the decks that people have tinkered with that you're going to be playing when you very first get going, because I think because of the rating system, if you're on a brand new account, you're basically playing as other people that are on fairly new accounts also. So anyway, one of the other things I wanted to talk about is the long run approach. The long run approach to a free-to-play game means using your resources very wisely. There's two basic resources in MTG Arena. There's gold and there's gems. Gold is something that you can use to get into events or to buy packs. Spoiler, never buy packs. Gems are something you can use to get into events. You could also buy packs and gold and stuff. Don't ever do that. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to grind these daily events and whatnot that will give us gold. We're going to use gold to play in events that gets us gems. We're going to always be spending our money to draft. Because why? Because that's why you should be on MTG Arena, is so that you can get free drafts in from time to time. If you're also playing on Magic the Gathering Online, the regular version, drafting on there is absolutely horrid EV. It's so bad you should almost never do it, unless you're just doing it for fun and you know you're probably going to lose money. So Magic the Gathering Arena, you can get in some drafts for free, which if you don't care about anything else, if you don't want to have anything else going on, if you like to draft, it's probably worth playing Arena just for that. Just do the faster quests and stuff like that, and then occasionally get some drafts in. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at these events, because we've got our gold, and let's go ahead and look at what we're going to do with that. I'm going to talk about constructed first. And I'm going to say for constructed, you should probably just avoid constructed like the plague early on. Don't think that you're going to hop in and get good value. You're probably not. Don't even try to play any constructed until you have a real deck. Like a tier 1 serious, go to MTG Goldfish, look at the standard metagame. If you don't have a real deck yet, stay away, because that's what you'll be playing against, and you'll just get wrecked if you're playing with some little cutesy homebrew thing. Once you finally get a good deck, you've got a couple of options, and there will be other things that come along down the road. But at this exact moment in time, there's competitive constructed and regular constructed event. We're going to look at competitive constructed first. On competitive constructed, what we're interested in is our break-even point, or the quote-unquote go infinite point. So it costs 1,000 gold to get into this event. We are not going to spend our gems. We're saving that for draft. So we spend 1,000 gold. If we can get 2 wins before we get 2 losses, we actually break even, and we manage to net up at least 1 rare and 2 uncommons. So basically we break even and we get 3 cards. And if we do even better than that, we get even more rewards that are just bonus on top. If you go 5 wins, basically you more than double up and you get 3 rares. If you just get 1 win, you still get half your entry fee back, plus you get 3 cards. So here's something interesting to note. If you can pull down, if you can go 3 and 2 as often as you go 1 and 2, you're basically going infinite, as long as you've basically got, maybe a couple grand to get started with, and then mix in some 2 and 2s, and those are fine. Also, as long as you're getting your second win before your second loss. This is pretty good value once you have a real constructed deck, a real tier deck to play with. Otherwise, again, stay away. Now, what you should not do is play these regular constructed events. Don't touch these. They're bad. They're for people who are not patient, because they do cost half as much. But once you get to 500 gold, don't be like, oh yay, I can go play a constructed event. If you only have 500 gold, not in all cases, but for most people that means you don't have a tier deck, so again, you shouldn't be doing this. But if you have a tier deck, you've probably got 1,000 gold, and you should just go hop in the serious, or what do we call this? Not serious, competitive. Sounds serious. Anyway, here's the thing. So here you do get room for an extra loss. So let's look at the 3 and 3, basically 500 point. When you go 3 and 3, you actually lose 100 gold every time. You're slowly bleeding 100 gold. So if basically what I'm going to refer to as, basically being a dead even 1-to-1, 50% win rate type player in the competitive constructed event stuff, that will actually let you go infinite. Here you will just bleed to death. You've actually got to get to 4 wins in order to reach the break-even point, which may not sound so bad since you get an extra loss, but it is actually worse. When you get all the way to the end here, you do straight up double up on a 7 and 3, which is theoretically a little bit. I think that is actually a little bit easier. 7 and 3 is a little bit easier than 5 and 2 probably. But not by enough for it to matter. You should just wait till you have 1,000 gold, a tier 1 deck, and then start hitting these competitive constructed leagues. If you can consistently basically be better than a 50% win rate, then you're gonna do really well grinding value there. Alright, let's move on to draft. Let's look at the sealed league. This costs 2,000 gems. That is a metric boatload. How far do we have to go to basically get all our gems back? We got to get 6 out of 7 wins. And once you get 3 losses, you're done. So basically you got a 6-3 to break even. So yeah, that sounds pretty bad. Let's see what else we've got. We've also got the regular draft, whatever that may be. It costs 750 gems, and you gotta basically go 6 and 3 again. You'll do better than break even, and if you do 5 and 3, you're a little under break even. Not feeling great about that. But there is actually a good, decent EV draft here, which is the competitive draft. Now, it does cost 1,500 gems, which is a lot. You'll have to save up for a while. It might take you a week or 2 to save up. If you buy the cheapy $5 welcome package they have in the store, you can hop right in and do a draft right away, though. And the cool thing is, you actually only need 3 wins to both break even on the gems and you clear 4 packs. So going 3 and 2... it's not guaranteed. I'm not going to say it's easy for everybody, but it's not. That's not terrible. Even if you just go 2 and 2, you're still going to get a smidge over half your gems back in 3 packs. Now, notice how they have these numbers here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are the stages. But if you actually mouse over and read, it actually says 3 wins. So even though this says stage 4, this is 3 wins to get your 1,500 gems back, which is the cost to enter. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Basically, short version recap. Don't play in any like competitive leagues that are going to actually cost you gold. Save up your gold. Use your gold. Oh, geez, I completely forgot. I can't believe I forgot to mention this before. Somewhere. Let's see here. Oh, okay, yeah. These regular drafts that aren't really the greatest as far as actually using our gems. Instead of spending 750 gems, you can hop in this regular draft for 5,000 gold, which may sound like a lot of gold, and it kind of is. I'm not really sure. Like it might take you a week or two just to get to 5k gold, and that's not great, but it does mean you can do a free draft every week or two, and you're going to win some gems. So say, for example, you do, let's say you're just, I don't know, let's get crazy. Let's say you go 4 and 3. That's not too bad. You're doing a little better than 50%. You're going to clear a pack in 450 gems. So that means, maybe like once a month or so, in addition to getting this draft right here, you're also going to have enough gems you've cleared to hop into the competitive draft. And then, again, if you do manage to go 3-2, then you can sort of go infinite on the competitive draft. So just save up all your gold and basically spend all of your gold on doing regular drafts, and then save all your gems that you win from these regular drafts and use those to eventually be able to play in these competitive drafts. And this helps you min-max your drafting. Also, when you're drafting, you get cards, and the competitive draft cards go into your collection. It's not like a phantom draft. So, also in the regular draft, those go into your collection as well. So let's say alternatively, looking at the store, you can buy a pack for 1,000 gold. Okay, that's something you could do with your gold. But that's kind of bad, because if you just do the regular draft for 5,000, you're going to get to draft 3 packs. So it's basically like you just got 3 packs. You're spending an extra 2,000. You're going to, like, let's say you do absolutely terrible. You don't win at all. You're still going to get another pack, which would have cost you another 1,000 gold from the store. So we're up to $4,000 worth of rewards and 50 gems, which may not seem amazing, but the only other way to get gems is to spend money. So yeah, that's probably let's see here if I can figure out. Oh, purchase gems. Yeah, so like to get 750 gems cost you $5. To get 1,600 gems is $10. So basically, if you want to hop in a competitive draft with real money, it's going to cost you about $10. Basically, what you're looking at. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You just don't ever spend your gold on anything but drafting. Don't ever spend your gems on anything but competitive draft. Do your daily quests, start doing it early and often, and you should be off to the races doing pretty well. I guess the last thing I should say is, if you go to your, let's see, your collection. Gosh, I'm so new to this. I don't even know where everything is. But anyway, you're gonna find somewhere in your collection you have profile. Is this it? Decks. Somewhere in here should actually be. Okay, here we go. You get these wild cards, and you can turn these wild cards into anything of their particular rarity. So there's common, uncommon, rare, and mythic wild cards. So this mythic wild card I could turn into any mythic in the game. Save these, hoard them, do not just use them right away, and really put a lot of thought into what you want your very first deck to be. It's going to need to last you for a long time. It's extremely important. If you miscalculate, you're really setting yourself back quite a bit. So, visit MTG Goldfish, look at the Tier 1 decks, try to calculate what you think is going to be a viable Tier 1 deck, hopefully with just slight modifications going off into the future. Also, these these rares and mythics are the hardest thing. So if you can build a really solid tier 1 deck that's mostly commons and uncommons, maybe with just a few rares and mythics, that's even better, especially if you think it's going to last for maybe the next year with slight modifications when new sets come out. That's where you want to be. So put a lot of thought into it and know these are extremely valuable resources that you should not just spend willy-nilly. That's it for today, everybody. Thanks a bunch for tuning in. I hope that just covering these basics might make your experience a little easier. One last quick tip. When you go through the tutorial is going to direct you to the store, and discard changes. Okay, it's going to take you to the store when you're going through the tutorial, and it's going to try to guide you to spend gold to buy a pack. Don't do it! It's a trap! Admiral Akbar fish face trap. Do not spend your gold on packs in the store. Remember, you're saving all your gold for doing drafting. So yeah, when they say, hey, would you like to buy a pack? Just be like, hey, how about no? And that's it. I think that's everything I can possibly think of. Also, oh yeah, one super duper last thing. If you do any sealed events at your store, I think with the special sealed, some of the special sealed boxes have tokens that have codes, and they allow you where you can basically redeem a code and I think maybe get like a free card or a free sealed event or something like that. So pay extra attention to your tokens that you get from, not from the booster packs, but like the special sealed event decks that they hand out. Pay attention to those tokens. Don't just chunk them willy-nilly like regular tokens. Make sure you don't throw away any codes. You can only use, as I understand it, one code per account though. So all the others you'll have to like share with friends or trade to people or whatever. Okay, I think that's finally every last little smidge of detailed, helpful hints I can throw at you for today. Hope this helps, especially if you're brand new. Get in there and have some fun, people. Peace!